So it's Thursday, day 4. Yesterday was a non-training day. However, I did my cardio in the morning and in the afternoon. And with you being my training partner, you should have as well. So I want to speak to you a little bit about pre-workout nutrition. You should be fueling your body with protein and carb sources throughout the day prior to your workout. I don't like to eat too close to the workout. Maybe about an hour before I'll have my last meal. So that'll include protein and carbohydrates. I need that carbohydrates for the sustained energy to get me through the workouts. And also have the protein to help with the recovery whilst I'm training as well. Because all I'm doing while I'm training is breaking down muscle tissue. So the more that I can prevent that damage, the better with the pre-workout nutrition. So I like to have a protein source that's easy to digest prior to the workout. So I'll have something along the lines of egg whites, or mainly I like to go for fish. So you don't want anything too heavy in your stomach because all the blood is going to be in there trying to break down the foods when you really need the blood in your muscles to help contract those muscle fibers. The carbohydrate source, I like to go for something easy like sweet potato or rice. Either way, carbohydrates are relatively easy to digest. I'll normally stay away from oats just because they'll give you a little bit more bloating. Now about 30 minutes prior to the workout, that's when I'll take my supplements. I'm also staying hydrated at this time because I'm going to be taking creatine. So I'll take the creatine just to give me a little bit more energy to rep out maybe 1 or 2 repetitions on any given exercise. And I take the glutamine as an anti-catabolic agent to help prevent too much muscle wastage. So that wraps up the supplements and the nutrition for today. So I'm going to see you in the gym for a real hard workout for back and biceps. So we're starting off today with a reverse grip pull down. I've already done my warm up. I'm going straight into my first set. This really targets the lats. I use this exercise to start with to really thicken the upper lats. I'm using the wrist straps as well to maximize my grip. Also allows you to go much heavier without putting too much strain on your bicep tendons as well. So during rest periods, as you can see in between the sets, I was stretching out my lats before I get straight into the next set. So this helps lengthen the muscle fibers, get the blood flow into the right areas and prevents the injury because as you can see we're going quite heavy on this exercise today. So make sure you're keeping your back straight and rigid during this exercise. So have a slight arc in your back, don't round the back and don't bring your abs into this movement at all. Next exercise here is the bent over rows. I like to use this exercise to target the middle portion of the back. Form is especially important on this exercise because your back is put into a vulnerable position. Stick your butt out, have your knees slightly bent and keep your elbows tight to your side. So pull the bar up to your torso, the lower portion of your abdomen, and squeeze those shoulder blades back. So remember to stay hydrated. I've got BCAAs in my bottle there. I just put a belt on. I don't like to become dependent upon the belt, but I'll use it on the heaviest set just to prevent any injury. The next exercise is hyperextensions. Now the lower back is often overlooked, but it's a critical component to your core. So what we're going to do is just a quick warm up on this exercise before going straight into the first set where I'm actually using weight. As you can see, I've got a couple of plates there that I'm cradling. This is my added resistance, so I can go to failure on this exercise. We're just doing hyperextensions. I've only done 2 sets on there because I've got a massive pump in my lower back. I think it's from the bent over rows or something, but I've just got such a pump there that it's just it's really going to disturb the rest of my workouts. So I've got biceps to do yet, so I've just done 2 sets. I'm going to stop at 2 sets. I'll listen to my body. If it's telling me not to do another one, I'm not going to do one. I started working a little bit with Hani Rambod, who come up with the FST7 style of training, which has worked really well on my weak body parts. FST7 stands for fascia stretch training, and you finish off with 7 sets on a particular exercise where you've got that weakest muscle group. So we're probably going to do straight arm pull downs now to really hit the lats. We're going to do 7 sets, rest for 30 seconds in between each set. During that rest, you're either going to stretch or you're going to actually squeeze the muscle. You're going to pose it and, you know, continue to push blood into that required muscle group. So I don't do it on every workout because it would lead to overtraining, and I just use it on my weak body parts. My back is one of them, so let's move on to that. Fully extend your arms upwards and rotate your torso forward to a 30-degree angle. You're going to keep your arms straight on this exercise. Breathe out and pull the bar down while contracting the lats. I'm not going as heavy as I normally would because we're doing 7 sets on this exercise instead of 3. I'm really feeling it in between these sets now. I'm getting tired, but you have to contract or stretch the lats in between every set on this exercise. By stretching it, you're going to stretch your fascia to allow more blood into the area, and by posing it, you're going to help squeeze and densify that muscle that we're building here. Now the reason I don't use full range of movement on this exercise, and same with the reverse pull downs, is because I tore my bicep tendon, not severely tore it, but you know it's been bad enough for the past, say, 4 months now to really have to work around it. I wasn't able to train biceps for about 5 weeks there because of the strain in my bicep tendon right in there. So I don't use a full range of movements. I go a lot higher reps now with biceps and with back. By doing back first, it warms up the biceps. They're engaged, so they're ready to get obliterated. So we're going to do 3 sets per arm on this exercise, so a total of 6 sets of around 12 to 15 repetitions. And I like to start off with using a preacher bench every now and again because it really helps isolate the biceps. So when you're fatigued, the body will naturally try to cheat by using other muscles, but the preacher bench actually prevents this, so you're really able to isolate the biceps. And also by doing one arm at a time, it prevents the dominating or the stronger arm from overcompensating the weaker arm. I like to stretch out the forearms. As you can see, they do get a little bit pumped up on biceps every now and again, so before you move on to the exercise, sometimes it's good to stretch them out. Now on our alternate dumbbell curls, you can see that I start off with the double dumbbell curls. This is just to fatigue the muscle a lot quicker before I go into the alternate dumbbell curls. So sometimes I'll do 3 reps with one arm, then 3 reps on the other, then 2 reps on one, 2 on the other, going down to 1. This just shocks the system, you know. I just do something different every week, and I find that doing this, you know, helps shock the biceps a little bit, and it stops the workout from getting monotonous. finish off today with cable curls. And when I say finish it off, I mean it. We're really going to burn it out now. So we'll do 3 sets of 20 repetitions on this exercise to really gorge the muscle with blood, stretch your fascia, give it that fuller look, and get a good pump so we can flush the muscle with nutrients. It's the final exercise, so make sure you push it hard. Now's not your time to give it up. Now's the time to put everything that you've got left in the tank into this exercise. If you can't get the full 20 reps straight away, just rest for a second, hit out a rep, rest for a second, hit out a rep. So this is called rest pause until you get to the amount of repetitions that you're supposed to complete. Make sure you go to failure. So the training that we did today was the FST7 training. I used to do the HRT training, the high intensity training, which worked really well for me. I put on a lot of size during the time that I was training that way. However, I've got my father's strength and I've got my mother's bone structure, which doesn't really work well together. So even though my strength was increasing, I was getting a lot more injuries. I was pulling, my joints were getting sore, I was pulling my tendons all the time, so that's why I crossed over to the FST7 training. You have a thick fascia surrounding the muscle that kind of prevents the muscle from expanding and growing further. So what we're trying to do is stretch and thin that fascia and gorge it with blood, so it gives your body more room to grow and it gives you a fuller look. So I'll only do that a couple of workouts per week, maybe back. I'll do it on my shoulders as well, because that's a weak group. In regards to motivation, I don't really feel any more motivated or less motivated. I'm just like a robot at this stage. I just do the same thing day in and day out. I'm not really good at motivating people too much, I should imagine, because I just make it second nature. If I'm training, I might put a weird predicament in my head, like a close family member's gonna die if I don't complete that set, which seems pretty weird, but it works for me, So I'll always try to put my back against the wall, and when you think about it, there's people around the world a lot more worse off than us, that are just craving a little bit of food or, a little bit tired. So it's easy to work through it. You just gotta want it bad enough. So that's it. Come back tomorrow and learn the connection between stretching and monster muscle growth.